Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm taking a look at a new visual novel game called Shining Song Star Nova. This was released on September 13th, 2018. The trigger price is $33.99 Canadian. Guess just about $30 US or your regional equivalent. And it's developed by Love in Space and published by Sekai Project. Now this game is pretty interesting. It is one of the very first visual novels released on Steam, which does have 18 plus adult content. It's actually totally available as free DLC for the game, which is so cool. I'm a huge fan of doing away with basically unnecessary censorship, so I'm pretty happy that these kinds of games are allowed on Steam. If, ultra-violence is fine on Steam, no problems at all, then a little bit of anime boobage should be totally fine on Steam, and it is now, so great work, Steam. Anyway, like I said, this is developed by Love in Space. If you've seen Sunrider Academy, the other visual novel by Love in Space, you'll definitely recognize the art style. It's very similar. So we basically take on the role of a producer and try and get these girls to become idols, basically. Let's hop right into it. A vast sea of neon glow sticks continue to infinity. Attendees fill the performance hall. Legions of otaku dressed in bright pink robes adorned with the pinned buttons of their chosen idols stood at the front row, anticipating the coming moment of rapture. Idol. The word originally referred to sculptures made of precious metals or wood worshipped by early humans as pious icons. But in more recent times, a new religion had usurped the old gods. A religion which erects its chapels of decadence in the holy land of Akihabara and levied tithe eagerly paid by men desperate to believe that a better place existed than their sad lots. The stage lights turned on. Enormous speakers boomed the new gospel as young girls clad in black and navy skirts and tops ran onto the stage.
Are you ready?
Yeah! There's so much voice acting in this. Like, every character's voice is awesome. Quasar. The crowd roared in a wild frenzy as their goddesses descended from the heavens. Grown men wept in shame, knowing that they had come down. They without taint had come down to cleanse the sinful, dirty, unworthy mass of humanity with their radiance. The men raised their glow sticks on high, prepared to close their eyes eternal and rise skyward to salvation. The era in which men prostrated themselves not before calves of gold, but below the heels of girls singing shining songs had begun. This is very cleverly written, actually. The woman shook her head as Quasar's New Year's Live played on the television set above her. She downed the shot of cold sake. Woman, a term alien to these kinds of stories. In most cases, one was a girl, or at least had the word young prefixed to the word woman. Woman was a poor word for marketability, evoking the sort of plain Jane, peach-coloured underwear one would find on the discount rack at a supermarket. Maybe one time you accidentally walked in on your mom changing and caught a glimpse of said underwear. In other words, completely unexciting. Girl, on the other hand, turned men's eyeballs. With a proper intonation, that single word could fill a man's gut with both excitement and unease, restlessness and desire. How skittish men turned upon that singular word and all its suggestiveness. This is very well written, I must say. Everywhere the mythos of girl saturated the lives of men. She looked down from billboards on top of buildings, spoke to them through speakers, teased them through letters in a magazine.
こっちだってクエーサーの一員だったのにクビにされるまではな。クソ誰どもがババアって呼びやがって私の何がわかるって言うんだ。
So I'm pretty sure she has a rural Japanese accent.
クソ偽善者どもがいつまでもぶりっこしやがってあいつらの本当の姿知ってんだよ。テレビでキャッキャしてるようなもんじゃねえぜ。
She went on drunkenly, mostly to herself.
こっちだってまだできるのに。見てろよ、じじい。こっちは諦めてなんかいねえよ。
Maria pounded the bar, her head swaying.
いつかまた。
うるせえわい。もう十分飲んだじゃろ。さあ、帰れ帰れ。
The sliding door slammed shut behind Maria as the barman tossed her out onto the winter street. She bent down and lit a cigarette.
くそ誰じゃ。どいつもこいつも。
She slumped back home, cigarette dangling from her mouth.
25だからってなんだ。まだ十分いけるじゃないか。鮮度に欠けるって、新鮮な要素が欲しいって。クソガキどもが業界にもう溢れてんだよ。
Suddenly, bad memories hit her all at once. Standing in a line with girls half her age, begging for another chance. She could see the looks on the other girls. They were laughing at her. The executives were probably laughing at her too. Everyone must have thought she'd gone mad. My stomach turned with humiliation and rage.
ふざけんな。
She kicked a telephone pole.
もういい。わかった。さっさとデビューしろよ。クソガキどもは何もしちゃいねえ。ごめんな。でもおめえらの日本一のアイドルになるなんてもんは所詮は夢なんだよ。毎晩プロデューサーの玉をしゃぶってタバコを吸い続けないと生き残れないような現実に目が覚めるだろう。そん時にはもはや夢もクソもないだろうよ。
Wow, it's very real. Maria continued her rant against this imaginary girl as she sauntered home. However, a bizarre sight interrupted her one-woman rage against reality. She saw a small figure step onto the railing of a nearby bridge.
おい、それって、おい!
The chilly winter breeze ruffled the girl's hair as she gazed down at the riverbank. She had no idea what she was doing or how she'd gotten there.
私はこのまま飛び降りるべきなんでしょうか。おかしなこと。なんでそのようなことを考えているのかしら。なのに、私はこんな場所にいる。ということは、心はもう決まっているのかもしれません。
The girl's thoughts were interrupted by Maria's voice.
おい、何をしている?
Now that Maria was close, she could see that the girl looked like a high schooler. Just why was this kid gonna throw away her life?
まだ若いんだから、やり直す機会はいくらでもある。
The girl spun around and faced Maria.
このガキ、顔まで可愛いじゃねえか。そのまま諦めるのか。ここまで降りてこい。
いや、私。
The girl's eyes widened as she shook her hands in a panic.
その必要は。
Oh god, she's gonna fall. Maria leaped forward just as the girl lost her balance on the icy railing and fell backwards.
昔の私なら運命を信じていたかもしれません。しかしある時から人生はおとぎ話とは違うと思っていた。人生には心なんてものはなく、いいことも悪いこともそれに関係なく起きるものだと。結局私たちは関係ない出来事を無理やりつなげて生きる意味を作っているのです。だからこれは運命だとは言いません。ただこの出会いは偶然であり、スターノヴァの7人の壊れたアイドルの物語の始まりを告げるものなのです。あるプロデューサーが最高のアイドルグループを作るという夢のために7人の欠陥品のアイドルをその頂点へと導く。そう。これはそのプロデューサーの物語。あなたの物語なのです。その物語は
Shining Song Star Nova! Yay!
「大逆転
Chapter 1, Our Grand Rebirth. That was a good little prologue, right in there. February 1st, 2017. Brr, cold, cold, cold. I woke up to the frigid winter morning. Is that that's a poster for Fault Milestone something? Which is another game that Sekai Project publishes. I don't think Love in Space does it. I think they just do the Sunrider Star Nova games. Given my current finances, I couldn't afford to turn on the heating and had to sleep wrapped in thick blankets instead. As soon as I tore myself from the sanctuary of my warm futon, I was assaulted from every direction by Old Man Winter. I entered the bathroom, trying my best not to faint from both the cold and sleepiness. An unkempt face with weary eyes stared back as I stood before the mirror. I've been unemployed for the past 2 months after being fired from my last job. Thanks to my paltry savings, the past few weeks have been a losing war against eviction and starvation. However, my luck finally turned around. By chance, I encountered my old professor from management school who happened to own a talent agency. Starting today, I was going to be a producer at Shining Productions, where I could once again manage a group of idols. That was my dream, to become the producer of Japan's greatest idol group. That was why last year, I started working as a manager at Golden Calf Productions, Japan's premier talent agency. Golden Calf manufactured girls into stars. Today, the idols at Golden Calf regularly appeared on national television and consistently filled every concert with attendees. Not only that, but Golden Calf had substantial ties to media corporations, as well as the Japanese government. You could call it Japan's #1 idol corporation. I thought I was finally a step closer to realizing my dream when I was hired by Golden Calf last year. However, that dream was abruptly cut short when I was fired due to a certain incident. Ever since then, my life had been a nightmare. I shook my head and cleaned myself up with a razor. But now that nightmare was going to end. I was going to grasp the second chance to become an idol producer once more. Gathering my energy, I shook myself awake and left my apartment. No money for breakfast, probably. After a bit of a walk, I arrived at the Shining Productions office. I couldn't help but be somewhat taken aback by the crumbling tenement. Frankly, the apartment was largely a dump. What the fuck am I saying? The apartment was largely a dump, with cracking concrete walls and faded windows, half of which were covered up with plywood. For a while, I was left wondering if I was even at the right location. However, upon closer inspection, a row of faded and peeling stickers spelled out Shining Productions on the second floor window. I swallowed my apprehension and went upstairs, only to be greeted with a cramped office. Hello? I looked around for anyone else. A tiny girl who looked about 14 years old poked her head out from behind a rolling whiteboard. Is this Shining Productions? I'm the new producer. The girl suddenly scrambled to attention.
永遠の12歳のアイドル、アキちゃんだよ。お兄ちゃん、今日からアキちゃんをよろしくね。じゃないと、アキちゃんがプンプンしちゃうよ。
What the hell was this sudden 180 personality shift? Ugh, I see. I opened up the portfolio President Okada gave me yesterday. Sure enough, I found Kashiwagi Aki listed as one of the talent candidates for Shining Productions. Kashiwagi Aki, 18 years old, was a child model, then became an idol at the tender age of 12. I see. Child idols appeal to a certain very limited subset of the fan base. But no matter what, they had an expiration date, after which their fans suddenly lost interest and turned to the next fresh little thing. Sure, they can try to keep up the elementary school rank for as long as they want, but all girls grow up eventually. Hey, don't look at me like I'm some kind of creeper. I'm just laying things out as they are. I bowed a bit to Aki. I look forward to working with you, Kashiwagi-san.
Aki-chan da yo, o-nii-chan.
Yeah. Well, let's see how long she can keep up the whole I'm just a stupid kid tee-hee act. The most important thing was to not get caught up in the act yourself. Never forget that these girls are thinking only of themselves. The entertainment industry was a dog-eat-dog world. At the end of the day, what mattered was getting ahead in the rat race. The whole I'm just a weak little girl you need to protect act was for their own benefit. The girl went into what looked like a break room where the others were gathered. A hodgepodge of girls emerged. Before I could see her, one of the girls retreated back into the room. What was her issue? Was she pulling the, I'm just a pure virgin who's scared of men act? Before I could investigate, the oldest looking woman of the group began talking. Was she supposed to be the alpha of this pack?
あんたが私たちの新しいプロデューサーか。
Shit, she stank of tobacco and booze. She swaggered side to side as if she was drunk. In fact, given her stench, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she actually was drunk.
ゴールデンカーフのお偉いさんだったかなんか知らねえけどさ。いいか、この子たちに指一本も触れさせねえからな。男なんてみんな同じさ。私たちのことを散々家畜扱いして自分の金を稼ぐためだけに振り回しやがって。お前のことなんて全部お見通しだ。私たちは騙されないよ。
And here you have the textbook example of a burnt out idol entering the latter half of her 20s. Basically, this is where the end of the line was. Even the best idols eventually lose their youth. That's when the fans start turning away. Your buddy suddenly can't pull off those dance moves you used to do so well as a teenager. Parts start getting wrinkly and saggy. And so at their wits' end, they crash down the slope of recreational drugs and booze.
マリア、あなたまたお酒飲んでたの？そんな状態で仕事に来るなって言ったでしょ？
うるさい。昨日の晩だって一緒に飲んでたじゃない。あ、まさかお酒の耐性が衰えたとかじゃないよな。
The blonde girl pushed Maria back into the break room and then returned.
渡辺ジュリー。母は日本人で、父はアメリカ人よ。よろしくね、プロデューサーさん。
A hafu. Hafu? Idols of mixed ancestry tend to excite fans the same way as exotic animals do at zoos. Blondie emanated a powerful aura about her, as if she was expected to be treated like royalty. Just as expected from an idol, huh? After all, American girls had reputations for being more wild, so just let the imagination of the fanbase run and they can already conjure up all sorts of unimaginable scenarios in their heads about this and that. Hey, like I said, I'm just laying it all out as it is. Just doing my job here. I'm not here to make friends out of my coworkers, I'm here to make them commercially successful.
やっほー、はじめまして、ピーくん。田辺夏樹です。でもなったんって呼んでや。
Are you part cat?
関西からやってきた田舎娘やったけど、今はもうすっかり都会のアイドルやで。よろしゅう。
Country girl from Kansai was right. She seemed more at home at the front of a pickup truck on a dirt farm road than dancing on a stage. Her skin was tanned brown, as if she spent her entire childhood picking rice in the fields or something. What was a girl like that doing in Tokyo trying to become an idol? I guess nowadays, girls with defects were considered moe too, but turning a country bumpkin into an idol? No matter how you spun it, this is going to be a hard sell. I turned my attention to the other two girls.
あらあら、ひょっとしてこっちを見ているのかしら？私のことはねむねむってお呼びくださいね。趣味は編み物とお料理とお掃除かな。みんなによくドロイって言われますが、そんなこと気にせず一緒に頑張りましょう。
What a stereotypical opening. In fact, she was pretty much the conventional image of an idol. Although I wonder just how much that was real and what was fake. I wasn't just talking about her personality.
プロデューサーくんたら本物に決まってるでしょ。
え？
気をつけないといけないよ、お兄ちゃん。ネムネムは頭につけているあのハート型のアンテナで人の心が読めるんだよ。
Excuse me. Okay, well that seemed pretty far-fetched. It seemed like Nemu was actually pretty clever. I guess despite her airheaded appearance, Nemu was sharp at reading people's thoughts. That was necessary for skill for a successful idol in any matter. That only seemed to confirm that Nemu was sharper than she let on.
でも、プロデューサーくんが見たいって言うなら構いませんよ。本物かどうか確かめたいでしょ。
Nemu exposed more of her cleavage in an absent-minded manner, as if stripping down in the middle of the office was a regular occurrence. Despite being a healthy young man with an unavoidable interest in such matters, I had to remain above the games that these girls play. We'll be doing the physical examination later.
了解。
I left one girl, aside from the one who hid from me. Oh god. Shit, I already have an insanely bad feeling about her. Yeah, you and me both, dude.
我が新たな主よ。ナイトソングの配下であるこの私が歓迎しよう。
Yikes.
課された試練は難関を極め、幾度もの絶望的な戦いの末、この身も滅ぼされかけていた。しかし、我が勇敢なるブラックナイトが約束の時にこの卑しい配下を救いにやってきた。ああ、早くこの身を汝の闇色に染めてくだされ。させれば哀れな聖者でなく、不死なる我が身によみがえるのだ。
This here is someone referred to as a chunibyo. Thanks to a certain late-night anime, acting like a foolish middle schooler has been all the rage with the Akiba folk lately. From light novels to erge to anime, characters of this flock were propagating everywhere. It was only a matter of time until they seeped into the idol world as well.
闇の恩方よ、なぜ何も言わないのですか。乙女の苦しんでいる姿がご覧になりたいとでも。
Not feeling like playing along, I just looked at her information from my portfolio. 20 years of age, high school diploma, but everything else in her resume after that was a giant blank. No prior work experience in the idol industry. Hashimoto Mika-san, I presume. I look forward to working with you.
やっとこの存在を認めてくださいましたね。
ちょっとうるさいわよ、中二ちゃん。何言ってるか誰もわかんないから。
That seemed to put a stop to Mika's act. She pouted and looked away from Aki. So the two of them didn't get along. Have to be careful. Well, that was everyone for now.
で、笹ちゃんは？
Aki peered into the break room and pulled her out. This girl? She was the one from that instant. The one that got me fired from Golden Calf. No wonder she hid herself the instant she saw me. What was she doing here? Come to think of it, she most likely got fired after what happened too. Did she sign on with Shining Productions after that? This coincidence was too convenient. Most likely the professor purposely hired the both of us to work together, precisely knowing the details of that incident. That would explain why a fired producer like me was suddenly hired out of the blue for this agency. So the professor played a fast one on me, huh? I rubbed the back of my head in frustration.
何か？
Nope. For now, I didn't want to share the particulars of my exit from Golden Calf with the other girls. Shimazaki Sasumi-san, I look forward to working with you.
はい、こちらこそよろしくお願いします、プロデューサーさん。
With that said, Sasumi retreated behind the other girls.
笹ちゃんはいつもシャイなんだから。それだとアイドルになれないよ。
Okay, that is a good place to leave the video. We got to meet all the girls. I'm glad we actually got to see all 7 of them, because I was kind of expecting someone to be missing or join on later. But yeah, we got to meet all 7. Very good. There you go, that was Shining Song Star Nova. I think it's pretty good so far. It looks like it's pretty long. I assume there's different endings, multiple endings. There should be. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!